Welcome, curious minds, to another deep dive. Today we're tackling something, well, pretty universal, I think. That challenge of building good habits,
Yeah.
right? And
No.
maybe even harder, getting rid of the bad ones that just seem to stick around. It can feel like such an uphill climb. You start strong, you've got all this motivation, and then life
Right.
happens,
Yeah.
and you slide back. But what if the whole approach is just off?
Mm.
Our source today suggests there might be a different way, maybe a simpler way. Okay, let's unpack this.
Exactly. We're diving into Atomic Habits by James Clear today. It's really shifted how a lot of people think about change. And the core idea is, well, it's pretty simple but really powerful. Small, tiny changes done consistently, they add up. They lead to huge results over time. So our mission here is to pull out the absolute key insights from the book. How habits form, why they stick, and, how you can actually shape them to become who you want to be.
Right, let's jump into that first big one then, getting just 1% better each day. Honestly, it sounds almost too easy. We sort of expect massive effort for massive results, don't we? What's the biggest reason people struggle to buy into that tiny improvement idea?
That's a really good point. I think it's often that all or nothing thinking. We want the big transformation now, and if we slip up, miss a day, we feel like, oh, it's over and just quit. But Atomic Habits really emphasizes that consistency is way more important than intensity. If you actually manage that 1% better each day, the math is kind of staggering. You end up almost 37 times better after a year.
Whoa, 37
Yeah,
times.
37 times. It's not a small number. It shows how those tiny gains, they don't just add up, they compound, they multiply. So for you, listening, wanting to learn quickly but properly, it means even a little bit of focused learning daily builds into this huge understanding eventually. It's about the system, not just one big goal.
Okay, 37x. That really paints a picture. It drives home that consistency point. But okay, before we start making these small changes, we kind of need to know how habits actually work, right? Like in our brains. Is there a secret code or are we just stuck with our old ways?
Oh, there's definitely a code. A pattern. It's a four-stage loop, and understanding it is, well, it's empowering. It all starts with the cue. That's the trigger, the thing that tells your brain, hey, reward coming up.
Okay, the cue, like seeing your running shoes by the door.
Exactly. Then comes the craving. That's the motivation, the desire you feel when you see the cue. You start wanting the reward. That leads to the response, which is the habit itself. You actually do the thing, you go for the run, and finally the reward. The satisfaction, the benefit you get, that feeling after the run. And that reward reinforces the craving for next time. It wires the whole loop tighter and tighter.
Ah, the loop, cue, craving, response, reward.
Precisely. Think about checking your phone. The cue might be a notification sound. Craving is wanting to see what it is. Response is picking up the phone. Reward is that little hit of information or dopamine. It gets ingrained so fast. Good habits, like studying maybe, often have delayed rewards. That's why we need to be more deliberate about reinforcing that loop.
Okay, so if it's a loop, we can sort of hack it,
Yeah.
engineer our own positive loops instead of just falling into them. Because that's what we all want, right? Making good habits feel as automatic as, I don't know, checking Instagram. And Atomic Habits gives us a roadmap for this. The 4 laws.
That's exactly it. These four laws are basically ways to manipulate each stage of that loop to build good habits. Let's stick with the reading habit example. First law, make it obvious. This is about awareness. You got to know what you're doing now, so maybe track your current habits. And then use habit stacking. Link your new habit to one you already do, like Clear suggests. After I pour my morning coffee existing habit, I will read one page new habit. The coffee is the obvious cue.
Okay, piggybacking on something you already do. Smart.
Then, law 2. Make it attractive. We're drawn to things that feel good. So make the habit more appealing. A cool trick here is temptation bundling. Pair something you need to do with something you want to do. Maybe I only get to listen to my favorite podcast while I'm exercising.
Huh. Okay, so exercise becomes podcast time. I like that.
Exactly. Law 3, make it easy. This is huge. Lower the barrier to entry, reduce the friction. This is where the famous 2-minute rule comes in. Start ridiculously small, want to read more, don't aim for an hour, just commit. Read one paragraph or put on running shoes, just 2 minutes.
That 2-minute rule feels almost like cheating your brain. It's like, oh, just 2 minutes, fine, and then you're doing it.
It totally tricks you into starting, and starting is often the hardest part. Once you start, momentum builds. And finally, law 4, make it satisfying. Our brains love immediate rewards. This is why tracking is so effective. Using a habit tracker, crossing off days on a calendar, it gives you that instant little win. Seeing your progress visually feels good. It's an immediate reward that reinforces the whole loop.
Right, right. That visual proof, that streak, it keeps you going. What's really interesting is as you apply these, it feels like it's not just about doing things differently, but about seeing yourself differently. The book talks about identity, right? It's not just what to do, it's who to be.
Precisely. You've hit on the really deep layer here. It's about identity-based habits. Often we focus on outcomes. I want to lose 10 pounds. Or processes. I will go to the gym 3 times a week. But the most powerful shift is focusing on identity. I am the type of person who doesn't miss workouts, or I am a reader. Wah! When your identity aligns with the habit, the actions become affirmations of who you are, not just tasks. It works both ways, too.
Yeah.
Your habits shape your identity, and then your identity drives your habits. It's a really powerful cycle.
Yeah, that's a big shift. Thinking about being rather than just doing. Powerful stuff. But let's look at the flip side for a second. We all have those habits. We wish we could just stop. How do we break bad habits using this same idea?
Yeah, the good news is the framework works in reverse, too. You just invert the 4 laws. To break a bad habit, you want to make it invisible. Get rid of the cue, hide the cookies, delete the app. Out of sight, out of mind, often works.
Okay, remove the trigger.
Then make it unattractive. Reframe how you think about it. Focus on the downsides, the negative consequences, not the fleeting pleasure.
Right. Change the craving.
Third, make it difficult. Add friction. Make it harder to do the bad habit. If you waste time on your phone, maybe leave it in another room. Add steps between you and the unwanted action.
Increase the effort needed. Got it.
And finally, make it unsatisfying. Remove any immediate reward it gives you. Or even better, find a way to make it immediately painful, like an accountability partner you have to pay if you slip up. Essentially, you make the bad habit as hard, hidden, and unappealing as possible.
So if we boiled it all down, the core message from Atomic Habits is really, don't aim for the moonshot right away.
Yeah.
Real lasting change comes from those tiny, consistent, almost invisible efforts, these small atomic habits. They compound over time and can genuinely change your life, change who you are. It's about the long game, built on daily wins.
Absolutely. And maybe a final thought for you to chew on. Think about your environment right now. How are the subtle cues, the layout of your room, your workspace, your kitchen, already shaping your habits without you even noticing? Are things set up to make the good habits easy and the bad ones hard? Or is it the other way around? Just becoming aware of those influences and then consciously designing your surroundings for success. That's often the very first and maybe most powerful step towards real change, towards becoming the person you want to be.
That's a great challenge for all of us. Look around, see what cues are driving your loops. Take these ideas, think about those tiny shifts, and start building. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, and we'll catch you on the next one.